Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for connecting with me today, the Health Analytic. I analyze things. Manifesting, the power of manifestation. But today we're just going to get your foot in the door. I will be uploading a video very soon. Going into very deeply into detail on manifestation and other things that would help explain it in a way that you could understand it better without having to practice it. But if you practice it, you will actually understand it. And in a lot of religious or spiritual teachings, you hear that often. Once you do it, or if you believe, then this and that, or if you see before you believe, then blah blah blah, etc. But there's ways you can explain manifestation in a way that someone that isn't so spiritual could actually understand. But even still, you'd have to. I don't want anybody to believe what I'm saying. You always have to look up this information for yourself. Always seek truth for yourself. You don't want to be led astray by anybody that is trying to present something to you, even if, they're very credible or not. But let me just go ahead and get you guys' foot in the door so you know what you're doing. So you know why things are doing. So you know why things are happening around you and why things are happening to you. Usually I'm outside doing these videos, but today I actually did this video, the same one I'm doing now, but it was extremely cold outside and I was shivering. The camera was shaking all over the place, and I didn't feel like putting on a sweater, and again it was windy. Anyways, so every thought, every word you speak, and everything you feel is a prayer. So every thought, everything you feel, and everything you speak, every word you speak is a prayer. We're beings of light. We're energy. And we come from Source, the Creator. And when you think things, and again, this video isn't meant to be extremely explained as far as manifestation, but like as far as all the extra details, I'm going to be going over that in a video I'm going to be making very soon. But when you think things, you're sending those thoughts up to Source. When you speak things, you're speaking vibrations. Actually, if you look into the study of phonetics, every word you speak, phonetics is the study of pronunciation. So like it'll even go into very explicit detail on how your tongue is supposed to be positioned for every single word that you'd be speaking, how your tongue is supposed to be positioned when you're saying certain vowels, and then that's how you'll get a very specific pronunciation for a word. And it also teaches that every word has a very specific frequency. And if you look into frequency and you study frequency, you'd also know that the frequencies that you project, they come back to you. And in the same way, your thoughts and your words, they produce, and your feelings, they produce frequencies, and they end up coming back. But in this sense, in the sense of manifestation, the frequencies you're putting out come back to you in the form of opportunity. A lot of people think they can pray for a lot of things, and they think that it's just going to come to them, and in a sense it does, in the form of opportunity. Let's say you want to okay, this was really really funny because this actually happened to me recently. um and this was completely unintentional, by the way, because I'm very, my life, I feel right now, is very busy. I feel I'm very focused on what I believe to be my purpose. And I was hanging around some old friends, and they just kept talking about relationships. So subconsciously, now I'm thinking about relationships. They're asking me all these relationship questions and things like that. And now, my thought was sent out, and then it came back to me in the form of an opportunity. But again, the thought wasn't very specific. It was just, relationships. Like, man, oh, why don't you have a girlfriend? Now I'm thinking, why don't I have a girlfriend? And then it's, oh, what kind of girls do you like? I'm like, what kind of girls do I like? And now all of a sudden, just some random girl ends up coming into my life, completely different vibration, completely different, life goals, and completely different, we just weren't the same person. We weren't the same person, and we weren't good for each other. And it was really awkward because I wasn't thinking in terms of manifestation. I wasn't thinking, that the thought would actually end up coming back to me, because I wasn't focused on thinking on that thought. The thought was kind of just, it kind of infiltrated into my subconscious. And it's like I wasn't even, that aware that I was even, thinking. Well, I was aware that I was thinking it, and I was trying to guard my mind, but at the same time, I completely forgot that it could have been manifested back to me. And it was just a really awkward moment, and I thought that was very funny. But again, for you guys that want to manifest anything, whether it be a relationship or money or knowledge, it's very important to be very specific about what you want to manifest. Would you want to be stuck in a relationship with somebody that isn't going to help you reach your higher self, or to be stuck in a relationship with someone that is going to hold you back from your purpose or from reaching your goals and dreams? And when you think, oh, I want a girlfriend, or if you're whatever you prefer, whatever you're, when you're thinking you just want that thing, it's, imagine somebody asking you like, oh, I want candy, and then you're like, what do you mean you want candy? Like, there's chocolate, there's this, there's healthy candy, then there's even really really unhealthy candy. And for me, I call fruits healthy candy because they taste so sweet. And they're really good for you. But yeah, in the same way, when you're thinking in terms of manifestation, you got to be very specific. And then for you guys that are, you guys that have all these negative things and negative people in your life, and then you go home, really stressed, like, man, all I know is negative people. All I know is this and that. And then boom, you send that thought out. You say your words. You're sending it out as a prayer. It's frequency. It's vibration. It's going out and it's coming back. And then again, it comes back in the form of opportunity. Your friends probably knocking on the door. Your negative friends are calling or texting you. That's just an opportunity. You can choose to turn it down or not. It's all up to you. But the fact that you thought it and spoke it and focused your attention on those thoughts, that's what's bringing it back to you. So you focusing your attention on those thoughts is what's bringing it back to you. You're literally manifesting the reality around you. And um, a really really cool example, something I manifested earlier today. When I woke up, I had this very strong thought of just wanting to help somebody. I just woke up, man, I want to help somebody today. Like, I feel like I really need to, there's something important I'm supposed to do today. I need to help somebody today. Anyways, so I don't know why, but I was kind of procrastinating, and then I was thinking like, man, what the heck is going on? So then I went out and I was getting grounded. For those of you guys that don't know what grounding is, go ahead and check out a YouTube video or Google or do your research on what grounding is. It'll change your life. And I was grounding and I was meditating out in the sun, in nature. Get my mind focused on what exactly it was that I felt was important for me to do, what I thought was my purpose. And then I went out, I took care of some business, and I went to my favorite shop. They sell gyms and all kinds of amazing things. And when I go there, I spend a lot of time there because it's always a learning experience. I always see something new in there that just blows my mind. It's amazing things in there. Anyways, then I felt something really strong in my gut, and I felt like I had like a headache or something, and I was like, whoa, what the heck is going on? So then I was like, yeah, I should probably end up going. I ended up leaving. And then on my way home, I'm walking and it's windy. And then some people would say, oh, you thought of this song because it was kind of stormy, or, the wind was kind of stormy. I was whistling this tune called The Song of Storms. And for those of you that don't know, it's from this video game, one of my childhood favorites, called Zelda Ocarina of Time. And the song is called Song of Storms. And I'm whistling the song on my way home, and I started feeling better, by the way, after I left the shop. But I'll explain what I believe that feeling was in a second. And then I'm walking, and I meet this. I end up kind of walking into this guy. I didn't literally walk into him, but he recognized the tune I was singing, and then all of a sudden we start up a conversation. We're talking, and then I was telling him about my my Instagram, YouTube channel, all the interesting things that I post about and make videos about or whatever. And he was just like, whoa, wow. And he was he was really excited to hear about it. Like, he had all these questions, and I believe he actually manifested the opportunity to get answers to the questions that he had in his head. And his thoughts, manifested the opportunity. He could have just said, oh, I'm busy, and then, just left or whatever. But, he was really interested, and he took the opportunity to hear the information, and, and it was really cool. But again, there's plenty of other sources out there. There's all kinds of other ways, to get, information and everything. But when you're manifesting something and you're presented with opportunity, you won't actually get what you were thinking or hoping for or praying for or speaking until you actually reach out and take the opportunity. You can allow or choose for the opportunity to keep walking by. Just like you give focus and attention to the thought that ends up getting sent out as a prayer, you have to give focus and attention to the opportunity once it's manifested and created or sent to you in your reality. And that's just that example, is, I feel, is a really helpful story to kind of help you guys understand what manifestation looks like and how it works. Just getting you guys' foot in the doors. I'm gonna have again, I'm going to be making a very, very detailed video on how manifestation works, and a lot more information about it to help you understand it. But definitely go ahead and do your own research. Try it out for yourself. Look at your life before you even try it. Look at your life. Think about the things that you normally think about. Like, just sit there and meditate. Just like, what do I usually think about? And then once you realize what you usually think about, then think about your life and the things that you attract. And then ask yourself, do you want to attract those things if they're negative? Just like, I know it's an obvious question, but this is important that you really kind of level with yourself and just kind of like, whoa, let me just take a few steps back there. Are these things that I really want in my life? And then, just understand that the reason they're coming is because you're attracting them with your thoughts and the words that you choose to speak. And also what you allow yourself to be exposed to. And, I got these words back here on the wall. A lot of positive things that a lot of people usually won't tell me. Because, a lot of people are negative in the world. And I don't want to say that I don't want to manifest that, Hang on 1 second. All right. So, I don't want to manifest, that into reality, that, manifest a bunch of negative people. But that's just, if you look at the world now, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. So I'm just going to say that. But I have a lot of, when you're looking at things like TV or whatever, and you see commercials where they just kind of spit a lot of negative thoughts at you and negative ideas, and now all of a sudden you're thinking about them throughout the day randomly, and then all of a sudden it gets manifested as an opportunity for you in reality, and now you get all this negative stuff coming into your reality as physical things. So right here, I got on my wall a lot of extremely positive words. A lot of them are in different languages. I feel that when other people kind of look at it and they're just like trying to read everything, and then they start asking questions, if they don't believe, then they're just going to have all their negative thoughts and feelings or whatever about it, and I don't want any of that. So I like to write it in ways that's easier for me to understand, and, but I have things like, improve health. That's a lot of really interesting things. When the spirit hides, the body becomes weak. I actually made a video explaining that one right there. Right? I think it's that one. When the spirit hides, the body becomes weak. I learned that through one of my silent meditations a few weeks ago, actually. Maybe even a month ago. And then just recently, I'm realizing how important... You know what? The reason why I probably came up with that video recently, or attained the knowledge on how the body becomes weak, and even in the last video I made, I think it was the video I made yesterday, I explained how spiritual withdrawal is the reason, or is the cause of anxiety, sickness, depression, a lot of negative things. and it's funny, I'm talking about manifestation right now, and I'm looking at my word wall. I usually don't focus on my word wall. I leave it up there for my subconscious, so that way when I'm like, kind of like when you're, blindly looking at commercials that you don't care about. You're not really focusing on them, but you end up thinking about them later in the day randomly, and then you're like, where did I get that thought from? And you're like, you don't even remember you were watching a commercial about that a few minutes ago. And I'm just realizing that I had my last video up on my wall for weeks or even a month, and I just made a video about that. Man, oh, this is amazing. I'm glad I redid this video inside instead of just trying to pretend like I wasn't cold outside. Anyways, guys, there you have it. The power of manifestation, getting your foot in the door and understanding it. Thank you for connecting to Source with me today, the Health Analytic. I analyze things.